Hello, so we are back again. So I'm now with Marcell, okay? So what we've done is actually sparred before. We sparred many times before, but what I want Marcell to realise, or what I'm taking him through here, I thought I'd take him to the gym and just do some pad work. He's never ever done any pad work before. So this is more about the understanding of when he spars, how to punch, how to deliver punches, how to slip, how to counter, and just understanding things just that little bit more. The good thing about Marcell, he has a very good fight understanding. He watches fights, we talk about fights, we go through, after we sparred, we go through different techniques and what he could have done and what he shouldn't have done, and how to punch properly, how to deliver the punches. So he understands all of the things that, you know, we do in sparring, and we always review the footage and said you could do this, you could do that. But it's one thing obviously doing it and learning on the job, which he's doing very well. But what I wanted to do is just basically just take him through some simple pad drills, so you can just understand things just that little bit more. So here what we're doing is just going through some warm-up drills. And the reason why I go through warm-up drills with pretty much every single one of my students is because I want to get the punch delivery correct. And then you can see here his elbows are high when I'm doing his hooks, and you'll see me just, there you go, adjust as what I would like in there. And that is just for basically just punch delivery and how you execute every single technique. And these little warm-up drills is just to get him used to the flow, used to doing things in the way in which I got taught by my coach, and in which most professional fighters would actually get taught in the gym when they're actually practicing. So what you actually see here is just simple jabs, crosses, uppercuts and hooks, okay? And we do this for a certain amount of time, just to get a nice even flow, so he understands it, getting all of the muscles warm. And this is basically a very good warm-up technique, just to get in before we start doing some combinations and getting them together. Okay, so now we've had that warm-up, we're just going to go through some simple delivery exercises. We're going to go for some jabs, we're going to go for some jab crosses, we're going to go for some crosses. We're going to do all of those techniques and put them basically together in combinations. But also what I want is tightness of guard, and as you can see just a second ago, that gave him a little bit of a slap to the head, because for me, punch delivery doesn't come from your chest or your waist, it comes from your jaw. And as it goes out, it comes back in. It comes back in quicker than it should go out, than it should generally go out. That will give the punch that little bit of snap. Also, as you can see there, telling him to use his body, i.e. use his hip, twist his back foot into the punch, and then obviously bring that back in. That way, for me, gives you a little bit more punch delivery, punch strength, punch accuracy and sharp. And also what I will be telling him, you might be able to probably see as well, is turning his knuckles over when he actually punches as well. So there you go. I just said to him, turn your punches over, use your hips, because believe it or not, your power doesn't necessarily come from your arms, you swinging as hard as you possibly can. It comes from using the whole of the body technique to actually deliver the punch. So here, after a simple few jab crosses, we're going to mix up the combination. So we're going to do, like, obviously as you can see here, it's a double jab cross, it's a double jab cross. Hi Monica, how you doing? So it's going to be a double jab cross, and we're going to move that. And I'm always adjusting his like stance because I want him to move. Because what happens is that if you're used to punching a certain way or doing things in a certain way, you've gained muscle memory. So I'm trying to get him out of that muscle memory and making sure he delivers the punches every single time, spot on. And so you build consistency in that. So you're building a new muscle memory. One of my coaches, or my coach used to say to me, one of the things you've got to do when you're becoming a fighter is to break the old body, break the old traditions and start with the new. With someone that's actually had experience, good or bad, preferably bad, and someone that hasn't tried to do the basics absolutely correct, so therefore they've moved on. You notice that, or I notice, especially with a lot of my students, that they have habits and they have bad habits, and it's just adjusting those habits and just making sure that everything is delivered basically correctly. It takes time, but with repetition, you're basically, it will slowly just become natural, Okay, so here we're introducing the hook as well, and again, always correcting him on things that I feel should be done right in the first instance. So you can see me just telling him how to just relax his shoulders and deliver the hook in a certain way. Now there's two types of hooks. Some people do a shovel hook, some people do obviously the knuckle hook, which you can actually see here. I actually prefer this one as opposed to a shovel, but it depends on your range and depends on where you are with regards to delivering that hook. But because we're close up, because we're doing pads, we're going to try and get used to this one here. This one for me generates a lot more power because you're actually turning your knuckles into the punch. You're aiming, if you had a guard up, you're aiming for the lower part of jaw or for the actual temple. So the delivery on this will be more precise, a little bit more accurate, and it would be a little bit more devastating. Okay? So as we're going on, I'm gonna basically put all of the combinations together. He's trying to, every single person does this, and it's actually funny to see. They try and hit the pads as hard as they possibly can, rather than relax their shoulders and basically just deliver punches nice and fluidly, nice and easily. And then once they've got them, then you can speed them up. You can make them a little bit harder, make them a bit sharper, make them a little bit faster. And as you can see, I'm just doing a demonstration of basically what I want. With my demonstration, I don't know if you guys can notice, but I do use my body. And this is one thing that I'm trying to get over with Marcell, because he uses his arms a lot. Very, very powerful punch, but it could be more powerful. And everybody can punch, yeah? But if you're using everything correctly, then your punches will be delivered sharper, quicker, with much more accuracy and with a lot more power. Again, it's reverting back to type, so you can see that it reverts back to type. So here I'm demonstrating how you drop the hook, okay? So how you use your body, how you use the angles to kind of get around that elbow when you're actually doing especially the body hook, okay? So what I will do is basically I go through and I basically explain, then I try to explain it in many different ways, in the sense of, you can imagine that someone's throwing, I don't know, a jab or a cross, and you slip that, and then you're basically just coming up with that hook. That's the best way to kind of explain the motion that you have, and just so he can see things in a little bit different, in a different way. It's using the bag. I find that the bag work is an absolutely awesome bag work, especially if you're doing bag work gently, to actually feel the punches and feel what you're doing. Here, what I'm doing here is just basically turn it in and use his body, turn it in and use his body, turn it in and use his body. And you can see that when he does actually get it right, it looks so simple, but it's very, very, very effective. Okay? So once we've done that quick demonstration on the pads, or quick flow on the pads, I want him to emulate that in the pad work. And you can see he's a little bit sharper, but he might return back to type. Okay, so this is a thing that I go through with all my students, and I like, one of the things that I always philosophize is that the basics, learning the fundamentals are super important, and these will take you through any fight. Anybody with good basic technique will obviously develop into a very, very good fighter, and once the fundamentals will never ever go. My fundamentals will never ever go. Okay, so moving on, we're putting everything into practice, but I've told him exactly what I want from here. We've added in a little bit of slipping, then he gets a little bit of a slap in the face because he drops his hands, because this is a main thing, that you're focusing on the punching, you're focusing on all of these other bits and pieces, but your hands are not tight. So it's basically keeping everything tight all at once, because when punches are delivered from the face, they're a lot more effective rather than being delivered from like your chest height or your stomach height. Okay, and this is basically understanding. Here we're mixing up the combinations. Okay, so one of the things that Marcell has, he has a very, very good uppercut, and I love his uppercut. You can see he delivers it super nice. Okay, that's one of the main things that I like about Marcell, and one of the things that I found when we were sparring was absolutely, it was pretty much really, really good. I won't say devastating because it's Marcell, but it was really, really good, and he caught us with a couple of shots like that. So drilling all of these other little bits and pieces, let him understand a little bit more, let him understand a little dip that you drop down, like you're slipping like a punch and then you come down. It gives a little bit more awareness, like visual awareness, understanding as to why you do certain things, because you can dip, slip, come underneath. And if you look at any professional boxing, you see that happen very, very frequently, even down to MMA, even down to kickboxing. Someone will slip and then just come up exactly with a punch. One of my favorite people to do that was Mike Tyson. Okay, so Mike Tyson used to slip, drop an inside body, drop an uppercut. Absolutely classic punches there. As you can see here, Marcell is kind of a little bit reverted back to type, but he's still doing it. It's the way in which you deliver your punches. You're kind of like throwing your punches. I want you to throw your punches, but it's just the way they delivered it, and they basically will come back to your face. Okay, there shouldn't be a drop dip. It should be just sharp and snappy, and come back to your face. Bam, 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 bam. Like that's what I kind of try and emulate with every single person I do. And look, you can see his hands kind of go back down and come back up because he's actually listening there. So I'll give him actually his dues on that one. But yeah, it's basically just trying to deliver everything correctly. And what you will see throughout this video is that I will basically keep on that and keep on him, keep on basically making sure his technique is absolutely correct. Giving the odd slap now and then when he drops his hands, where I can see that he drops his hands. Hello again, Monica. And then basically just move on from there and basically just develop his technique. And this is basically what I'm about. So when anybody comes to me, I'm not necessarily here to change you. I'm here to develop you and make you just that little bit tighter with everything that you actually do. People have certain ways in which they fight, understandable, but again, fundamentals are super, super important. So for me, whenever I'm teaching, I don't try and change that. Another little slap there. He loves it actually. He smiles at me when he does that. I'm not here to kind of change your style as such. I'm just here to make what you have or what your foundation is just that little bit better, okay? And just going through all of those basics. I love giving him a little bit of a slap. It just makes him be more aware. And you can see once he gets a little bit of a slap, his hand goes straight back up. Okay, so what you're going to actually do, what you're actually going to see here, sorry, is just simple techniques, basically drilled and delivered as best possible by Marcell. One thing, if you haven't subscribed yet, guys, please just click that subscribe button, pause the video just for 1 second and just subscribe, okay? Because again, looking at analytics, 70% of you look at my videos, watch my videos, thank you very much for doing that, but you don't press the subscribe button. So press the subscribe button, because I've got so much more coming, okay? And yeah, do me a favor, click that subscribe button. Thank you very much. Okay, so all these simple techniques that you see me doing with Marcell, you can do at home with, you know, someone that can hold pads for you. Obviously the way that I'm holding pads, obviously look at the way that I'm holding pads. Look at the way that I'm instructing Marcell, look at the way that, you know, I give demonstrations and everything else like that. So you can actually do these with anybody that basically is interested in boxing, kickboxing, whatever, and understands everything, okay? These are kind of like lessons that I'd like to give, okay? And there will be obviously my tutorial that I will be giving to you guys shortly. But watching it, you might be more of a visual aid than or to someone that likes to kind of read it and then put it into practice. But you can understand it in both ways. I always feel that the understanding of something is when you actually see it, like the visual aid, and that's mainly me. I like to see visual aid. So if you are doing a tutorial, or if you are learning or anything else, please understand what I'm trying to get over to you guys on this video. So it's not just about me having a little bit of fun with actually Marcell. I'm actually teaching them, I'm actually going through just these fundamental basics, and it's consistency, okay? Making everything right every single time, okay? You're not going to get it right every single time, but then it takes, you know, a lot of doing the same thing over and over and over again, which is repetition. But then Bruce Lee actually turned around and said, you do not practice 10 things 10,000 times, or yeah, you do not practice 10 things 10,000 times. You practice one thing 1,000 times. So again, referring back to my coach, he had us doing jab cross for the whole session, which is an hour and a half. How many times we do that? Who knows? But it was for an hour and a half, until our jab cross was like absolutely spot on. And it shows in every single fighter that he has. If you watch any of his videos, he goes through the fundamental basics and he'll drill them for the whole session. Just drill and drill and drill and drill and drill until they're absolutely kind of nailed them pretty much 99.9% of the time, okay? This is Marcell with a little bit of skill issue. Again, punching, you don't want to hurt your wrist, you don't want to bend your hand. There are things that you can prevent for when you're actually punching. And punching straight, turning your knuckles over, not punching with your thumb, not punching with your wrist bent or anything else. That's how you prevent kind of injury, and not trying to punch as hard as you possibly can do. When you're actually doing pad work, once you're you know, amateur fighters level, then you actually put it in. When you're actually learning, just go through the motions, make sure that everything's right, and then once everything is right, then you can turn it up a little bit more. You don't need to just go hell for leather every single time you see a pad in front of you, or every single time you see a bag in front of you. Understand what you're doing, and it's super important for your wrists, your thumbs, long-term injuries, you know, not having those niggly aches and pains. Oh, well, you know, I was doing bag work and then I hurt my wrist. And I get that all the time. And support your wrists as well by wearing hand wraps. A lot of people just put on their gloves and then, you know, they don't necessarily know how to punch and they hurt their wrists. Well, skill issue on your behalf, because you're going to do that. That's going to happen. So look after yourself as much as possible. Understand your techniques. Understand everything that you're doing and why, because it's super, super important. And you know, I'm gonna tell you again, if you haven't pressed the subscribe button, pause the video right now and press the subscribe button. I super appreciate it if you do. Again, like I say, 70-80% of my people that watch these videos do not press the subscribe button. So please, guys, pause the video, press the subscribe button. Thank you very much, super appreciate it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let the rest of the video run. You can see the different techniques and different things that I'm doing with actually Marcell. I will always, you know, correct him with his technique, and I'll always try to make him do things right. You've got the general basis or general consensus of what I'm going to be doing with him. You're going to see different techniques. You're going to see different techniques, whether they're slipping, blocking. On here, the odd slap that comes in every now and then when he drops his hands, because that tends to happen. But guys, I'm going to let the rest of this video run. Thank you very much for watching. If you've come this far, please don't forget to press that subscribe button. And as I say, thank you very much for watching, and tune in to the next one, because there's going to be loads more with different people. Some of the people as some special guests, so I know you guys will enjoy that. But again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Look,